अस्सलामुअलैकुम, मेरा नाम समीर खान फैक्ट्री वाला है और मैं एआई टीचर ट्रेनिंग का स्टूडेंट हूँ। तो आज का मेरा टॉपिक है द फ्यूचर ऑफ वर्क रिमोट जॉब्स। तो इसके बारे में हम चैट जीपीटी से बात करेंगे और हमें वो आंसर करेंगे। तो हमें कुछ क्वेश्चंस करने हैं। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं वीडियो। हेलो चैट जीपीटी, कैन यू हियर मी?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Everything's working on my end. What can I help you with today?
I have some questions about the future of work remote jobs.
Absolutely. The future of work is such a fascinating topic. What kind of aspects are you curious about, like remote work, automation, or maybe how skills and
I
education
have
will
some,
evolve?
I have some just normal questions.
Ah, got it. No problem at all. Feel free to ask whatever you have in mind and we'll dive in from there. What would you like to know?
What are the biggest advantage of remote work for employees?
Yeah, that's a great question. For employees, some of the biggest advantages are definitely flexibility, so you can design your workday around your life, not the other way around. Plus, there's often a better work-life balance, you save time on commuting, and you can sometimes even create a more personalized workspace.
How has remote work changed traditional office culture?
Yeah, it's really shaking things up. I mean, traditional office culture was all about in-person interactions, structured schedules, and kind of a shared physical environment. But now with remote work, we have a big shift toward more autonomy, digital communication, and even more global teams.
What skills are most important for remote jobs?
Yeah, that's really key. Communication skills are huge, being able to express yourself clearly over email, chat, or video calls. Time management is also super important since you have to stay on top of your own schedule. And of course, being adaptable since remote work often means dealing with different time zones, tools, and workflows.
Can remote work increase productivity? Why or why not?
Yeah, it definitely can, but it depends on the person and the setup. Without office distractions, a lot of people find they can focus better and get into a flow state. But it can also be a challenge if there's poor communication or if home life is full of distractions. So it's kind of a balance.
Why are the main challenges people face while working remotely?
Yeah, so some big ones are isolation, feeling disconnected from colleagues, and communication gaps, since things can get lost in digital translation. Also, you have blurred boundaries, like it's harder to separate work from personal life, and sometimes just staying motivated without that physical structure can be tough.
How can companies maintain teamwork in remote environments?
That's a great point. I think a lot of companies are focusing on intentional virtual rituals like regular video check ins, team brainstorming sessions, and even just casual virtual coffee chats. And they're also using project management tools so everyone stays connected.
What technologies make remote work possible today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, advances in high speed internet, cloud based tools, video conferencing platforms like Zoom or Teams, they've all really made remote work seamless. And cloud storage, too. Everyone can access files anywhere, anytime, so it's all interconnected.
Will remote jobs continue to grow? Continue in future? ChatGPT. Hello, ChatGPT.
Yes, remote jobs are expected to keep growing. For example, the World Economic Forum projected about a 25% growth in digital remote eligible jobs by 2030. Upwork also reported a big jump, expected remote work growth going from about 30% to 65% in 5 years. However, a Robert Half survey noted that only 4% of new roles in early 2026 were fully remote, with most roles being hybrid or on site. So while remote work will grow, hybrid models are becoming the dominant trend.
How does remote work affect work-life balance?
Yeah, so remote work can really improve work-life balance. Since you often have more flexibility to structure your day, you can spend more time with family, reduce commute stress, and even fit in personal activities. But it can also blur the line, so you have to be intentional about setting boundaries, like when you can off the clock.
What industry? What industries offer the most remote jobs opportunities? Hello, ChatGPT.
The industries offering the most remote job opportunities right now are IT and software, which make up about 30% of remote roles, followed by sales and marketing at around 25%. Finance, healthcare, and education also have strong remote opportunities, especially in roles like software development, digital marketing, financial analysis, telehealth, and online education. These industries rely on digital tools, making them well suited to remote work.
What role does artificial intelligence play in remote work?
Yeah, AI plays a big role. It helps with automating routine tasks, scheduling, and even managing communication. Like AI chatbots can handle FAQs or routing requests. Plus, AI tools can personalize workflows, analyze productivity, and even support collaboration by suggesting the best times for meetings or identifying bottlenecks. So it's really making remote work more efficient.
Are remote workers happier than office workers? Hello,
So it
ChatGPT.
turns out remote workers can be happier, but it really depends on the setup. For example, a large survey found that fully remote workers reported a happiness score of 7 out of 10, compared to 5.9 for those always in the office. However, a Gallup study noted that fully remote workers are more engaged, but less likely to say they're thriving, partly due to loneliness and coordination challenges. In short, remote work can boost happiness, but hybrid models often give the best balance.
Okay. How?
Yeah, exactly. So it really depends on how it's implemented, what kind of support and culture a company builds around remote work. When it's done right, it can be a real game changer for both happiness and productivity.
But hybrid models often uh, give the best balance. How? How?
Yeah, so hybrid models give you the best of both worlds. You get some structured in office time for collaboration and connection, but you also keep the flexibility of remote work. This lets employees stay productive, but still have that face to face interaction that builds trust and team spirit. So it's all about balance and choice.
Can remote jobs reduce unemployment worldwide?
Yes, remote work can help reduce unemployment worldwide, but it's not a complete solution. It removes geographic barriers, giving people in underserved areas a chance, and it allows more flexibility for caregivers or those with mobility challenges. However, it depends on digital infrastructure and skills. Many jobs can't be done remotely, and unequal access means not every region benefits equally.
Can you give me a short summary about this topic?
Sure. So, remote work is really reshaping the future of employment. It offers flexibility, better work life balance, and, and access to global talent pools. While it can boost happiness and productivity, it also brings challenges like isolation and the need for digital skills. And if done right, hybrid models might provide the best balance for the future of work.
तो दोस्तों आज की ये हमारी वीडियो थी, उम्मीद करता हूँ आपको पसंद आई होगी। मिलते हैं
जी
नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। अल्लाह हाफिज़। एंड में थोड़ा नेट का मसला हो गया था, इसलिए मैंने इस वीडियो को एंड कर दिया। इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मिलते हैं। अल्लाह हाफिज़।